Good morning. So today, we're talking about really exciting stuff. We're going to be talking about finding common ground. So I'm an analyst, so all system needs to communicate in order for them to work together. So again, I've mentioned my name is Cathy. I've been an analyst for about 10 years. And even though I've worked for a lot of different companies, all systems primarily work the same. They have problems that we all know. Systems always have problems, and they need to be able to communicate in order to function. So as I mentioned, systems all have needs. They need to be compatible in order to function. You can't put an Android app on an iPhone. It just doesn't work. They have to have a successful connection, or else you can't connect to anything. And with that, they have to be able to communicate between each other. I mean, they bring us together, don't they? And all systems have the same needs to be successful. And I'll tell you that systems need to be understood. We have to respect our systems because they have feelings, and they also have boundaries because there are things that systems will not permit you to do. And they also have values because we value our systems. They take care of us, and in theory, we should be taking care of them. And we do that by showing care, because with regular upkeep and support and maintenance, the systems will stay with you as long as you let them. The systems also need to be heard, and I know you're like, no, they don't, no, they don't. They do. Systems speak up when they're concerned, so they throw warnings at you. They bleep at you, say, no, you can't do that. They'll lag when they're stressed out. They're like, oh, slam your fist on the counter. That is not how this system was designed to work. It is. And they yell at us when they're angry. They throw error messages at us. They say, no, you can't do that. And if you try to put characters into a numeric field, they're going to tell you you can't do it. They'll throw you a message saying, no, that is not how we do things. And when you ignore them long enough, don't get those regular system updates, what happens? Systems will shut down, they'll stop working, and they'll stop doing what they're meant to do. So how do we respond when systems fail? I don't need to tell you. We get angry. We get frustrated. We take it out on our systems. We blame them. This stupid computer program, that is not working how it's intended. We get so frustrated with them. Or we work around them, like, I'm not using that. We're going to do something else. I've got something better than what you're providing. Or we dismiss it. I don't need this system. I can do it my own way. And that's what we're saying. We're like, I don't like working with you. I'm going to do it my own way. So what's important to remember about systems? When they fail, it's also our responsibility. We're also failing the systems. And when a system speaks out, we need to listen. We have to hear. We have to pay attention. And the better we understand our systems, the more value they provide to us. And as we get better meeting the needs of our system, they will also meet our needs. So what does this have to do with finding common ground? That's a great question, if you were thinking it, because you're like, why are we talking about computer systems? Because I'm willing to say that the same way that we treat our systems is the way that we should be treating each other. So I'm saying, if you go through this PowerPoint slide as I presented it to you, and you replace systems with people, tell me if that doesn't change your perspective. It's really about finding common grounds. You're going to give more concern to your systems than your people? I'm thinking not. It's all about perspectives. So let's look at what really is important to remember. When people fail, it's a shared failure because we're all responsible. And when people speak out, we should be listening with our ears and paying attention to what's in front of us. We have to be aware. And the better we understand people, the more value that they bring. And the better we are at meeting the needs of each other, the better that they perform. I mean, how many of you felt like if you were just heard in that one moment, how much better could I have done in my position? That's where I feel like a lot of us are. And again, we do need to communicate to work together. We need to be honest. We need to be present. We need to be understood. We need to be compassionate and connect and, just be willing to be who we are and be accepted for that person that we are. So define success for yourself. All people need to be communicated with in order to function. at the core of every conflict is a breakdown in communication. And as I've mentioned, there are 9, I'm actually embarrassed to admit this, I've held 9 different positions in the past 10 years, which means there's a 90% chance that I am not happy with my job, and I'm telling you 100% of the time, it has to do with communication. If I simply was heard and we were on the same page, maybe, just maybe, we could have found common ground. So with that being said, I hope you can find common ground in your life, and I hope you can too live with brilliance. And if you feel lost and you feel like pounding your hand on the desk or whatever, you feel like shaking your computer screen, go ahead, do that. Be angry, be who you are, be brave, be courageous, and I wish you all the best success on your journey. Thank you so much.